I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact focused on personal growth, my Knowledge Workbook series and Creative Healing course can help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about any chance for a third time with my ex. So we see a lot of multiple breakup situations on the channel, and one of the things that causes that is you get caught in a dynamic with a partner where something isn't working, maybe for both people, maybe the relationship is toxic and unhealthy, and you're having a hard time breaking that cycle. We create a strong connection with somebody, so when we get caught in that connection for a long period, it gets really, really difficult to break that cycle. Many of you guys just hope and think that things are going to be magically different when you get back with your ex, but it's not. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that. You have to do something. But so many people don't want to do the work. They're lazy. They get focused on things that really don't matter. They're negative. They don't believe that they can accomplish it or their ex will come back, whatever the reason is. But the people that are motivated are the ones that really change their life. And you could tell the difference, right? Because when I'm talking to people, I can see what's going on, how much work they're doing, even in the way they express things or talk about their growth. It's clear that some people are working harder than others. The problem is, if you don't learn now in this breakup, you're probably going to have another breakup, and we're going to be doing a coaching again in the future with this ex or someone else. We're all about using the information that we teach to change your life, to have the healthiest relationship that you can, to keep attraction strong, to creating a great dynamic with somebody. And when you don't work through your issues, you're going to wind up losing somebody that you really love and you don't want to lose. Okay? So I implore you to do as much work as you can. Stop just watching no contact videos. I know before I even release a video how it's going to do, because you guys focus on those clickbait videos and those clickbait coaches that all they talk about is no contact. But no contact does not prepare you for anything other than being in no contact. And initially, when an ex comes back, we're trying to get way beyond that. We're trying to change your life, okay? That's why we don't say, send your ex these 3 messages and they'll come crawling back. I mean, give me a break. I know they are preying on you, and we don't have that approach here, okay? Go look at the titles of the videos. We know that a lot of those videos aren't going to get a lot of views. But we keep pushing and encouraging, because sometimes you guys have to come back to the channel after multiple breakups to get it. But I keep trying to tell you ahead of time, look at what you have to do. If you do these things, you're going to turn your life around. So please consider what I'm talking about. You know, I have 2,000 videos. We go far beyond the videos with the Creative Healing course and the workbooks. There are therapeutic activities. There are whiteboard videos. There are audio affirmations. There's cartoons. There's art therapy activities. There's homework assignments. All of those things have reflective questions. All of those things are going to teach you things to change your life, to heal your attachment issues, and to help you become more secure. So today I've got somebody that is going through a breakup, and they're hoping for a third chance. Okay? They said, "Dear Coach Kenneth, I am reaching out with deep sadness and a sense of hopelessness, having found comfort in your videos over the years." So they've been watching for years. Remember, we've been out for over 9 years at this point. My relationship with my ex began in the winter of 2021, just a few weeks after our first date, when her father, a key figure in her life, suddenly passed away. I became a significant emotional support for her during this difficult time. Our relationship progressed rapidly. She soon spent most nights at my place, and I found myself falling in love with her and her dog. It felt as though I had in some ways filled a void left by her father, as she noted similarities in our personalities. While we fell in love, our personality differences became apparent. She is fiery, emotional, and quick-tempered, with a history of her father often counteracting her mother's strictness, leading to stubbornness and sensitivity. She's also very messy, contrasting with my organized and calm nature. I live a disciplined life rooted in my 30-plus years of martial arts and value order. These differences led to frequent threats of breaking up and getting back together. So a lot of volatility there, okay? When you're threatening with someone with a breakup frequently, they're not going to feel safe. It's going to kill safety in a relationship, which is absolutely critical. Initially, I often initiated the breakups due to her emotional outbursts, a behavior I now recognize might be linked to my anxious attachment style and difficulty letting go. So this is interesting, because when I first did this email coaching, the way he was describing it, I thought she was anxious and he was avoidant. But now he's saying he's anxious. This is going to come up later on. Remember that he's been watching the channel for over 4 years. Is he paying attention? Let's find out. We stayed together, attempting to work through these issues. I'm unsure of her attachment style. After 4 years of watching our channel, this is kind of reflective of how much work someone is doing. This should be fairly simple to figure out, especially if you've done my creative healing course, or the knowledge workbooks. But the course, the way we laid it out is, well, you could take a look at what's inside it, but we kind of go through the unconscious, then we go through what attachment styles are, then we go through like anxious, then avoidant, and then disorganized. And so you learn things as the course progresses. So pretty clear he's not doing a lot of work if he can't figure out after 4 years what her attachment style is. Not going to help. We moved in together, which is when our first significant breakup occurred. I broke up with her and secretly signed a lease for another apartment. I'm going to read that again. I broke up with her and secretly signed a lease for another apartment. Not many people are going to feel safe after someone doing that to them. It's pretty devastating. Okay, it's really painful to do to someone. So you weren't communicating what was going on. I mean, it seems like a rather impulsive thing to do, but it doesn't seem like you did it impulsively. Unable to cope with her messiness and feeling unprepared for cohabitation. That's what I'm saying. You got to work on these things. I was feeling horrible and couldn't be myself anymore. Not sure why. The 2 months leading up to the move were agonizing. As the date approached, oh, so you'd planned that for months. Look at that. As the date approached, I regretted my decision, but she insisted I move out, stating we would figure things out later. Okay. Now, did she tell him that at the time just to get him out without a fight? Probably. I think she was just appeasing him, knowing that if she said, okay, let's talk about it now, he wasn't going to go anywhere. I was devastated by my actions and wrote her a letter acknowledging my mistakes and expressing my love for our life together. Is this man not listening to me? I mean, come on, you've been watching our channel for years and you're sending letters, handwritten letters? There are 2,000 videos of mine, many of them mocking the handwritten letter, none saying to do it, because they often make things worse. Okay? Sometimes they work, but even a broken clock is right twice a day. More often than not, it makes it worse, and it often gets ignored. Unfortunately, I'd tell you to do them if I thought they would work, right? But in all the years of doing this, most of the time it gets ignored, it makes things worse. And this is from somebody that's been watching the channel for years. Remember, this isn't somebody that came to the channel and just decided on the whim. I begged to fix things. However, she stood firm, stating that I was the one who ended things and that she was too hurt to reconcile. I initiated no contact, though I had pleaded initially. She began sending me small items, and about a month later we started talking again. She admitted to going on a date with an ex, but realized it wasn't right. We discussed making things better, but we neglected to truly understand our personality and dynamics. You gotta really do the work. Are you watching all of my videos in my Be a Master in Relationship series? Taking notes? Are you watching my Understanding Attachment Styles playlist? Doesn't sound like it even as writing this email, because you still didn't know what her attachment style was after writing this email. Relying instead on intimacy and shared activities. By mid-November of 2023, we were back together. Remember, there's multiple breakups here. Things felt good until November of 2024, when she said her feelings had changed. So it was good for about a year. She explained that the period when I moved out had deeply affected her trust and feelings. Despite my efforts to be supportive and helpful around the house, her feelings didn't return. Then she became pregnant for the second time. He didn't mention the first time. Initially, we were both happy, but weeks later she decided she couldn't go through with it, citing her lingering uncertainty about the relationship. By this point, the relationship had felt unstable. Christmas brought a temporary improvement, and January to March seemed positive to me. However, in early April, she ended things definitively, saying she had tried but couldn't regain her loving feelings. Intimacy had also significantly decreased. We didn't see each other in April, though she checked in occasionally. I remained generally polite, but maintained no contact. In May, her demeanor changed. She became rude and distant, telling me to move on, and that she loved me but wasn't in love with me. Uh-oh. Sounds like there's another guy in the picture. That's what it's going to feel like to me. I haven't looked at this one in a while, so I don't really remember what happened here. I made one last attempt. Not sure you're paying attention to what we're saying in these videos. You may be listening, but you're not following the instructions. Following the instructions is a huge part of getting an ex back. So many times I talk to you guys. I give you instructions on what I think is going to work. Listen, it's your life. You can do what you want. But I know what works and what often makes things worse. You go against what we suggest, you're going to learn the hard way, unfortunately. And just keep in mind, I will never tell you to do something that I wouldn't do myself in a situation. Because I know what it feels like, guys. I empathize with you. But I also have to be tough. Because that's the only way you're going to be successful in getting an ex back. It's a lot more challenging than you realize. It's so easy to stay in no contact in some ways for 5-6 months. But then in the first conversation back, you vomit your feelings and you do things that cause the whole attraction to fall apart after all those months of waiting. So I'm trying to prepare you. I keep telling you, I keep showing you, but some of you guys don't really listen or understand. It's very hard to maintain emotional self-control when your ex comes back after months. So you have to really, really stick to it. I made one last attempt, writing about my feelings and sharing news of a new job that I got that would alleviate my previous work-related stress and give us a much better economical situation as well. So you thought you were going to kind of buy her affection, right? I got this new job. I'm making a lot more money, honey. If you're honest with yourself, you know that it's true. You were kind of trying to be manipulative here. I expressed my desire to truly work through our issues and build a future together. She responded that my past actions and words had also hurt her, indicating she was focused on the past while I was looking forward. Today, oh boy. Regrettably, I used a drone to check on her and saw a skinny dude in his underwear there. I know how hard it is not to look and see what your ex is doing. Believe me, I get it. It's not easy. But, you know, this kind of thing will literally get you arrested. Well, it could have been innocent and might have even been her grandson. How bad is the camera on your drone that you can't tell the difference between a skinny dude in his underwear and her possible grandson? You might want to get an updated drone. Forget it. Don't get an updated drone. No drones. I was deeply upset. Oh, man. When I confronted her and asked her what she did that day, she became angry, blocked me on some platforms, and stated that we are broken up and I have no right to question her. You could tell this guy's not doing the work. He's trying to sell me on he's done the work, but look at all these things that he's doing. He doesn't know her attachment style after years of watching the channel. He's sending her handwritten letters. He's flying drones. He's confronting her about what she's doing that day. He's getting himself blocked. He's going to get himself arrested. Not really doing the work. I apologized. This followed a previous call 2 weeks before that where I had questioned her about her whereabouts. Turned out she was at a party with her colleagues at the time and reassured me that she wasn't with anyone romantically and that she doesn't want to be together with anyone right now. That just means she doesn't want to be with you and you're stalking her, okay? Why were you asking her where she was that other time? You driven her past her house, right? Don't try to lie to me. You think about it. He flew the drone, panicked, asked about what she was doing that day. 2 weeks prior, he had asked her what she was doing that day. That came out of nowhere? Probably not. I want to add that she has never had a one-night stand in her life. She isn't that kind of girl. I just can't keep my cool, and the hardest days are the weekends and when she's been active on Messenger for many hours. Here we have it again. What do I tell you guys? Do the creative healing course. Do the workbooks. Don't do this. Right? He's making himself crazy. He's watching probably nonstop on the Messenger to see when she's logging on and off. This freaks me out every time, and I feel I need to know where she is. You've got a lot of attachment issues, and if you don't work on them, you're not going to change. You're not going to heal them. You don't magically change. Between November of 24 and January of 2025, she lost her job, but quickly found new employment at a lower salary. Around the same time, her dog required expensive surgery that I helped take care of. These stressful events may have influenced her feelings as well. I have worked significantly on myself, and I'm a better man than I was 3 years ago. Okay, that's great. I'm glad that you've made changes in the last 3 years. I don't know what those changes are because your behavior here is pretty rough. I mean, you're spying on her with drones. It sounds like you're stalking her. You're badgering her on where she's at and what she's doing. You don't even know her attachment style after years of watching her channel. I mean, you should be able to figure out that stuff relatively soon. So please, please focus on the personal growth and not what she's doing or how she's logging on and off Messenger. I love her deeply and want to spend my life with her. Is there any chance for us again for the third time? What can I do now? And what should I do if she reaches out again? Okay, I'll come back to that in a second. I feel devastated and hopeless. Her last message asked me to stop contacting her and questioning her, stating we are separated and I must accept it, with dog sending kisses. Okay? I truly rely on your guidance. What would you do in my situation? What are you going to do differently here? This is a really extreme situation where clearly your anxiety is pretty severe, that you're stalking her, you're sending drones, and these are all the things that you're just telling me about. I'm sure there's a lot more here that I'm not hearing, right? Obviously, this is just an email coaching, and we didn't spend an hour where I could ask you more questions. But she asked you to stop contacting her, and I think you got to do a lot more work than you realize, okay? If you've been watching our channel all these years, but you're going against all the strategies, what does that say about your anxiety level? Your inability to follow those are reflective in you not being able to soothe yourself and your anxiety, okay? I'm being a little bit harsh here. I know it's tough to hear, but the reality is, if I'm being soft here, what are the chances of you turning this around? Not good. If I'm tough and I give you some tough love and you follow my instructions, you're going to be a lot more likely to turn it around. And you're going to be a lot more likely to be prepared for this situation because you've already had multiple breakups. You already have been in the toxic cycle where you keep breaking up with her. And now there's no safety here, and she is feeling scared and overwhelmed by your behavior and demanding to know where she's at, what she's doing. So what I suggest to you, and what I'm saying again, is you got to do the work. Please look at getting into therapy. Make sure you're watching all the videos in my Understanding Attachment Styles playlist, my Be a Master in Relationships playlist. I highly recommend you get started on that creative healing course. 30 minutes a day will make a huge difference because you've already had a couple of breakups, and so you don't want to act as if you're going to get all these chances. For me, my mindset is I am going to do everything in my power to prepare for one other chance that I might get. That's the way I operate, right? I've told you this. Even when I do stand-up comedy, I don't do it like I used to. I still do it, but not like I used to where I'd get in front of big shows of hundreds of people or, some cases over 1,000 people, and I would over-prepare my material like a lion walking around a cage, that's how I was, going over things over and over and over in my head because I want to be in that moment. I want to be ready. I want to be prepared because I care about the outcome. So I believe that the more you over prepare about the situation, the more likely you're going to get the result that you want. So based on where he's on the opposite end of that, going against all of the advice and the tactics that we share in all these videos, handwritten letters, stalking, harassing, begging, and this is somebody that sounds like they've been watching the channel for at least 4 years. I don't know how many years, but he definitely has been saying for years, and not really making those changes. I could be easy on you, but how is that going to help you see these blind spots that you're having? You've had multiple breakups. Let that pain motivate you, please. You don't want to think about how you're going to feel if she comes back another time and it doesn't work out again. How much you're going to beat yourself up. Oh my gosh, I didn't think I was going to get this other chance, and now I did, and I wasn't ready. I should have listened to Craig. I should have done the work. Because you never know what's going to happen. Yeah, she's angry and she's hurt and she doesn't want to talk to you right now, but it doesn't mean she couldn't reach out again. It's up to you whether or not you want to how much preparation you want to do for that. Because look, the reality is these issues are going to come up with other people that you date. And so what if you meet somebody that you're even more attracted to or even more excited about, and you do these issues again? Then you're really going to be like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? So I'm a big believer in using this opportunity now to motivate you. Please, guys, please do not let how your ex's interest level appears right now to impact your motivation level. It's the worst thing you could do for your breakup, okay? Look at it like I'm going to get one more chance. And even if you don't, you're going to get a chance with somebody else that you really like one day. It's going to happen. And you want to be prepared for that situation. So the more work that you do after your breakup, the more likely you're going to be able to turn it around again, okay? So sometimes I feel like I have to be tough with you guys to get you to see things, right? I only do it because I care about your success, and I want to hear your success stories and hear about how you're doing much better. So please look at a situation like you're going to get one more chance, and you want to be over prepared and ready for it. And if you do that, and instead of watching when they're logging on WhatsApp or Messenger or all these different social media apps, instead of watching that, sit down and do the course. I promise you, if you're staring at WhatsApp and seeing when they're logging on and off for an hour and you can't stop looking, you're not going to feel good. But if you sit down and watch a video and answer a bunch of questions from the Creative Healing course, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel like, oh, wow, I did something. And next time it happens, you replace the watching with the opening the course, learning something, doing the affirmations, watching a cartoon with the reflect. You're going to feel so much better replacing something positive, right? So it's up to you. Think about it. But I've been doing this a long time, and I see what we have to do to make those changes. It's on you guys to do it. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully, he gets really focused on the personal growth and is able to turn this around. But if not, we want him to be happy and successful in the future with somebody else. If you want to get my help personally, you could go to my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Zoom calls. You can get my Creative Healing course and my workbooks only on my website. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.